What is up, F and True followers? JC Styles here, F and True Wrestling, back at you with another video. This is going to be somewhat of an update on Brian's video that he put out a couple of weeks back about the TNA bringing back 6 sides. This is also going to be a brief discussion on the plans for TNA Destination X. And also I'm going to talk about my likes about TNA, what really got me started into watching TNA, and also just in generally speaking the current state of TNA. So, first off, TNA is bringing back the 6-sided ring. Yes, Jerry Borash confirmed it. Also, Jerry Borash also confirmed that it's only for one night, and it's for the returning, wait for it, Ultimate X match. Now, the tagline for the pay-per-view is fast forward to the past. And Mick Foley said it best on Impact last week that TNA is looking for, and I am looking for, the best X Division stars in the world. And this is the main purpose for the video I want to talk about, because the fact is that, what really got me into TNA, watching TNA, was AJ Styles. I'm not going to deny it. AJ got me into it. Then I started watching some more. I started expanding out, getting into it, liking some of the talent, some of the guys that I didn't really get to notice. The X Division was on fire when I started watching. It was constantly match after great, excellent match after excellent after excellent after excellent. There was not really that many bad matches in the X Division, and there was one match that stood out, and I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it. And I'm going to go ahead and say, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to put the link in the description box, so check that out. It is Unbreakable 2005. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, triple threat match for the X Division title. This match won Match of the Year, and it won triple threat match of the decade, I believe, or something like that. It was fantastic, phenomenal match. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. The X Division they would go out and they would defend the title, and they would go out and the matches would be 15 to 20 minutes long, and it kept you hooked. The Ultimate X matches usually ran anywhere between 20 to 25 minute 20 to 25 minutes. And those matches had really sick, crazy, insane spots that were really interesting, high flying, all this great stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a wrestling ring. Also, the current state of the X Division is really not all that important anymore. They're kind of treating the X Division like WWE did with the Cruiserweight division in a couple of years back. And don't get me wrong. I still stand by what I said, that TNA needs to get rid of Bischoff and Hogan. That's my definite dislike. But my actual likes about the whole Bischoff and Hogan thing is that they're expanding TNA as a company, and they're pushing TNA in newer directions. But the one thing they got rid of the 6-sided ring, which what made TNA stand out. They got rid of Ultimate X. They got rid of King of the Mountain, which also made TNA stand out. I think that's the only two things that I really dislike about Bischoff and Hogan. Also, there's too many Immortal segments on screen. There's too many in-ring promos now. Usually the promos didn't run that as long as they do now. And for a company with the tagline saying "We are wrestling," or "We are a wrestling company," you certainly don't have a lot of wrestling on your shows. I know there's probably TNA Explosion, which I haven't really watched because I've heard it's like WWE Superstars, but I will give it a chance in the next couple of weeks or something like that, and I'll probably review it. But what got me into watching TNA were guys like, the X Division stars, guys like Joe Daniels, AJ, guys like Alex Shelley, Petey Williams, Shocker, Chris Sabin, Sajay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Matt Bentley, Johnny Devine, Sonny Siaki, Roderick Strong, Loki, a.k.a. Senshi, Jerry Lynn, Austin Aries, or Austin Starr, depending on when you started watching TNA. Elix Skipper, Chase Stevens, Puma, Shark Boy. Okay, and there was just so many more X Division stars than that. But those were the guys that I actually enjoyed watching in the X Division, believe it or not. I know that there was a lot more. I mean, and also the thing about TNA that made TNA such a great company years ago, such a great company, was that they had a ongoing contract with ROH where they would take some of their top talent, TNA's top talent, like Joe, Daniels, AJ, and send them over to ROH because AJ, Joe, and Daniels actually came from ROH as well. And they wrestled over there, and they had some great feuds. And then there's some of the wrestlers from ROH came over, like Chase Stevens. No, I'm sorry, not Chase Stevens. Roderick Strong and Austin Aries came over from ROH, and Samoa Joe definitely came over from ROH, and blew the doors down on TNA. And the thing about it was that's what got me hooked. I was like, yo, TNA is doing this stuff for, doing all these things. They had guys from Japan coming over. They had global impact and had TNA stars going against New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. Kurt Angle was the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. The Dudley Boys years ago, Team 3D was the IWGP heavyweight tag teams, world champions. Then Motor City was the IWGP junior heavyweight junior champion, tag champions. That's what got me hooked. That's what I liked about TNA. Now there's none of that. There's no guys going over to ROH, or there's no ROH guys coming over to TNA. For the Mick Foley segment, I would like to see a lot of the TNA X Division stars return. I would like to see Chris Sabin. I think he's injured, and so is Alex Shelley. I would like to see them two return, along with P.D. Williams, Sanjay Dutt, Sonny Siaki, Roderick Strong. Hell, even Jerry Lynn, maybe Senshi, Elix Skipper, Austin Aries, maybe even Puma. It's just TNA. To me is not performing to the level that it used to. I still love TNA and I still stand by it. Like I said, I agree with some of the things Brian said about Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Like, they're trying to get out of the Impact Zone more to take Impact on the road, and stuff like that. But the thing is, though, they're not doing it a lot, but they're doing it once every few weeks, few weeks or so. But the thing about it is that they need to do something. They need to get, they need to focus on the X Division and build the X Division up again, because the X Division isn't what it used to be. And like I said before, I enjoyed the X Division. I still love the X Division. I'll throw on the Best of the X Division Volume 1 and 2 and sit through it without fast forwarding a match. That's how much I like the X Division. And, I know there's people out there that really didn't like the X Division, that they watched TNA more for the guys like the Jarretts, the Kevin Nash, the Scott Halls, the AJ Styles in the main event. The tag team division, which the tag team division was phenomenal in early TNA as well, and it was really still phenomenal up until early 2010, and that's really when it really started to go downhill. And I would love to see a tag team division return back to TNA and be as strong as it was years ago. X Division needs to be returned. They need to bring the X Division back from the depths, and they need to focus more on that. The X Division was what gave a lot of the younger guys in the locker room something to shoot for the X Division title. You don't really get to see that now. I mean, you have right now the current champion for the X Division championship is Abyss, and that match was screwy as all hell, the match that he had with Kaz. And I don't like that. I mean, Kaz was a fantastic wrestler, don't get me wrong. He is an X Division star. But to be honest, I would probably rather see someone like Alex Shelley or Chris Sabin or maybe even Amazing Red as X Division champion, just because the fact is that, they go out there and they're so fast and they're so quick. They're quick on their feet, and that's what I like. And I just think TNA needs to go back to the basics when it comes to the X Division. TNA needs to go back to the basics when it comes to the main event. I mean, they need to dial down more on the promos and focus more on the wrestling. Which for a company that says we are where wrestling matters, they need to put on more wrestling and less promos. Yes, promos do make for a better match, but not when the promo goes for 15, 20 minutes long. They need to shorten the promos, maybe have like a half an hour worth of promos and an hour and a half worth of wrestling. But they need to definitely dial it down. They need to start producing 5-star matches again. They also need to start producing 5-star pay-per-views. I mean, I can't remember the last time I actually watched a TNA pay-per-view and enjoyed it from start to finish. You know, from start to finish. So, guys, like this video if you agree with me. Dislike if you don't. Because pretty much these are the reasons why I enjoyed watching TNA enjoyed TNA when it was starting up. Those are the dislikes why I don't like TNA as of right now, but I still stand behind it because I still think it's better. It has better wrestling than the WWE. But then again, there are some guys in WWE that I actually still like, and I still think that they need a push. I mean, that's another thing with the wrestling. They're spending too much time on focusing on certain wrestlers. Like right now in TNA, you got Anderson, RVD, and Sting in the main event right now. That's it. You know, and there's just so many more wrestlers. And then you have pretty much that's it. I mean, now you have Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett at Slammiversary for the #1 contendership. Another feud that they keep re-erecting from the dead. You know, enough is enough. So the taglines for this video are as followed: we're effing true wrestling, and you're either effing true or you're effing screwed, and we're just effing awesome. So guys, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy Memorial Day. And we'll be back tomorrow night with Monday Night Raw.